Imagine walking into a courtroom thinking your star power is enough to shield you from a $161 million disaster, only to have a judge look you in the eye and say, "We're going to trial." For the last 72 hours, the curated, floral-scented world of Blake Lively has been colliding with the cold, hard reality of the New York legal system. We aren't just talking about a creative rift or some tension on a movie set anymore. We're looking at a full-scale legal war where Justin Baldoni's team just suffered a massive procedural blow, and Blake Lively is now officially headed toward a May 18th trial date that could dismantle her reputation and her bank account in front of the entire world. The newest developments from the Manhattan courthouse suggest that the nice girl image is no longer a valid defense, as the judge has denied several key motions intended to kill this case before it ever reached a jury. The factual reality of the situation shifted dramatically on April 22, 2026. After months of behind-the-scenes legal maneuvering, the presiding judge has officially denied a series of motions from Justin Baldoni's defense team that sought to dismiss Blake Lively's claims of unlawful retaliation. While Baldoni's lawyers successfully argued for the dismissal of certain defamation counts last week, this new ruling confirms that the core of the $161 million lawsuit, the allegation that Baldoni orchestrated a coordinated smear campaign to destroy Blake's professional standing, is moving forward. Perhaps more shocking is the judge's decision to allow deposition discrepancies to be used as primary evidence. This means the conflicting stories between Blake Lively and author Colleen Hoover regarding a supposed social media blackout against Baldoni are no longer just rumors. They are now central to the trial's credibility phase. The judge effectively ruled that there is enough triable issue of fact regarding whether Baldoni used his production company, Wayfarer Studios, to financially back a digital assault on Lively's character. Public reaction to this trial certainty has been a massive wave of shock, particularly because many legal analysts predicted a quiet settlement. Viral clips of courthouse reporters describing the atmosphere as icy have racked up millions of views, with the phrase, "the $161 million showdown," trending globally. The social media debate is currently centered on the net worth gag order. Fans and critics alike are fixated on the fact that the judge has yet to rule on Blake's request to keep her and Ryan Reynolds' combined wealth a secret from the jury. On X and TikTok, the discourse has shifted toward a team nobody sentiment. People are no longer picking sides between the director and the star. They are instead obsessed with the power couple politics involved, questioning how much influence Ryan Reynolds truly had behind the scenes of the It Ends With Us production. This situation escalated because it's the ultimate professional ego collision. For context, we've seen Hollywood feuds before, but they usually stay in the tabloids. By moving into a federal courtroom, both Baldoni and Lively have essentially bet the house on their version of the truth. This says everything about influencer and celebrity culture in 2026. The public is no longer satisfied with a Notes app apology or a vague interview. We want discovery documents. We want the texts. It affects their reputations by stripping away the brand and leaving only the boss. If the trial proves that Blake used her status to bully a director, her domestic goddess aesthetic is dead. If it proves Baldoni used his company to fund a character assassination, his empathetic filmmaker brand is equally finished. Let's look at the denial from a more analytical perspective. Why did the judge refuse to dismiss the case? Because in the world of 2026 labor law, retaliation is a heavy word. Baldoni's team argued that any negative press Blake received was a natural result of her own public behavior. The judge, however, saw enough evidence of coordinated effort to let a jury decide. It's digital footprint accountability. You can't just claim the internet decided to hate someone if there's a paper trail suggesting you helped point the way. Maintain a conversational tone, but let's be blunt about the Colleen Hoover factor. It's a punchy, devastating twist. Short, punchy sentences in the unsealed transcripts show Blake being asked if she requested an isolation of Baldoni. She said no. Colleen Hoover's testimony says yes. This is a credibility trap. In a trial of this magnitude, you don't have to be a villain to lose. You just have to be a liar. Slower, more analytical tone during the breakdown of these discrepancies reveals that the It Ends With Us set wasn't just tense. It was a labyrinth of conflicting orders. If the author of the source material is essentially siding with the director's version of events, Blake is walking into that courtroom with a massive target on her back. We have to clearly separate the confirmed details from the online theories currently lighting up the digital space. It is a confirmed fact that the trial is set for May 18th in New York. It is a confirmed fact that Justin Baldoni's motion for summary judgment was partially denied, specifically regarding the retaliation claims. It is a confirmed fact that Blake Lively is seeking damages in excess of $150 million. The online theories, however, are speculating that Ryan Reynolds is being subpoenaed as a non-party witness to explain his role in the nice spool marketing strategy, which Baldoni's team claims was used as a weapon against the film's original tone. Fans are theorizing that Baldoni has secret audio of a production meeting where Blake reportedly threatened to buy the film out from under him. There is also a viral theory that the floral aesthetic of the film's press tour was a deliberate attempt by Blake to brandjack the project, which will be a major point of contention in the trial's professional interference segment. The analytical tone of the reputation shift is perhaps the most fascinating part of the 2026 landscape. Slower, more thoughtful threads on LinkedIn and industry blogs are discussing how this case is a death knell for the star-producer model. If a lead actress can be sued for $161 million for taking over a project, every major star in Hollywood is currently looking at their contracts with a magnifying glass. The Lively Baldoni war isn't just about two people who didn't get along. It's about who actually owns a movie, the person who directs it or the person who sells it. This leads us to a bigger industry question. Can likability be a legal defense? Blake's team is essentially banking on the idea that a jury won't want to punish a beloved figure. Baldoni's team is banking on the Dahmer analogy, the idea that charm is a mask for professional ruthlessness. It's a psychological experiment played out in a court of law. The upcoming response possibility is a pre-trial PR blitz. Expect a very specific kind of content from the Lively Reynolds camp over the next 3 weeks. We're talking family-first photos, baking with Blake videos, and perhaps a very strategic, vulnerable interview where she doesn't mention the case but discusses the difficulty of being a woman in a male-dominated industry. It's the standard jury pool priming that every A-lister uses when their back is against the wall. The future impact of this will be seen in the Wayfarer Studios portfolio. If Baldoni wins, he becomes the hero of the independent director. If he loses, his company likely collapses under the weight of the legal fees and the industry blackballing that often follows a failed suit against a power couple. The unresolved tension is the lost footage. We keep hearing about the Baldoni cut versus the Lively cut of the film. If the judge allows both versions of the movie to be screened for the jury, it will be the most high-stakes film festival in history. The jury will literally be deciding whose vision was the right one, turning a legal dispute into an aesthetic judgment. Ultimately, the fact that Team Baldoni was denied their dismissal and Blake Lively is going to trial isn't just a win for the director, it's a warning to the elite. By the time the jury is seated on May 18th, the It Ends With Us title will feel less like a romance novel and more like a prophecy for someone's career. The floral era is over, and the litigation era has officially begun. Do you think a $161 million lawsuit is a fair response to professional retaliation, or is this a case of a director trying to cash out on a celebrity feud that got out of hand? Let's talk about it in the comments.